y'all. Good morning. Welcome back to Sitting with Ashley. I am Ashley. Alright, we're gonna do a reading quick before the tiny wakes up. I don't know, I just wanted you to see my earrings, okay? Because they're not dangles, but they match. I don't know. Oh yeah, I moved my thingy. I'm gonna start a couple new short projects today. I'm very tired. How are you guys feeling? About 7:30. God damn it, Nova. Alright, sorry. I have ADD. It's also the morning. I think we're gonna use these female spirit cards. If you're a male, don't click away. You need to tap into your feminine energy in order to help this planet rise. So, sit the fuck down, bitch! Chill out. Alright, just kidding. Okay, thank you. We're on vacation. Reservation. I had a really wild dream. I think that's another reason I'm still gathering all of my energy from the 5D. There's some really evil stepmother energy. Doesn't necessarily need to be a stepmother, but that's what I was dealing with in my astral travel. So, you might be too. I was being hunted by this stepmother energy in the form of mother. It was weird. And as it progressively continued, I know this isn't an astral travel, I should probably make one though, but this woman would not let up. Ended up killing people. It was like a fucking movie, honestly. But I was the character being pursued and hunted, so that wasn't fun. I got away for a little while and hid amongst other people at a pub. But there was tons of people and she still found me. So I was then I woke up. I'm I'm not, leave me alone. I'm not doing this. Okay. Sunset, gratitude, happiness, and contentment. I tried putting argan oil and jojoba in my hair last night, or on my scalp, and I don't know. It's summer here. I live in the desert. Things are dry. Then we have philanthropy, generosity, charity, and love. The more gratitude, more attitude of gratitude you can have, the more energy you will align with for abundance. And if you use that abundance to uplift and support others, you will stay in this cycle of giving and receiving with the universe, like that infinity sign. Giving, receiving, giving, receiving. And if you know anything about energy, you know that money is an energy. Money took me a really long time to master, and I haven't mastered it fully because I'd like to make my own. But I do have more now than I usually do. So I'm working on this still. All energy is a reciprocal process, right? So again, whatever you give, you're going to receive back. So that's why if you're grateful for what you have and you share that with others, the universe will continue giving you more, because we're all here to, support each other, uplift each other. But yeah, do that. Maybe you have an evil step person, or not even a step person, because like I said, I named that energy when I woke up, but while I was in the dream, it felt like I was this was my mother, but it wasn't my mom in this realm. I mean, we don't talk. She's a covert narcissist, but it wasn't that bad. So maybe this was just her higher self showing me what she was trying to do. I don't fucking know. Either way, why did I go back to the dream? Oh, maybe just because of like what I said. Like, you get to choose if you're gonna continue participating in like self-imposed bondage or, you know, because I was like legit being hunted by this energy. So like whatever it is that's making you feel that way, it's trying to kick you out of your happiness, your contentment, and your gratitude so that it can control you. When you lower your vibration to meet other people in energies of lack, victimhood, fear, anger, what would you call the energy of like hunting someone? Stalking? If you meet energy like that, then you're just going to again bring more of that in, okay? Stay in this energy of catwalk. Stay in your confidence, your charisma. Keep your ego balanced and in check, right? Clenched fist, toughness, strength, perseverance. You may be, I mean, we all go through our own individual fights and shit. So whatever it is that you're fighting, it doesn't mean that you're like necessarily throwing hands. I mean, maybe, whatever. Be careful. Everything's fucking criminalized nowadays. In the 90s, you used to be able to, you know, throw a good punch without getting incarcerated. Anyway, I'm thinking of the movie They Live with that scene between the brother and the main character in the alley, and they fight. The fight scene is like 15 minutes long, I swear to God. But it was a movie made in the 80s. You can't fight like that anymore. But anyway, whatever you're fighting, whether it's metaphorically or physically, again, be careful. When you step into this energy of gratitude, of happiness, or do your best to try, you don't have to fight so hard, is what I'm trying to say. And again, you're going to be receiving continual support so that the universe can uplift you away from those vibrations, right? That saying taking the high road is so that you literally vibrate higher. And I say this all the time too, is like, when you've taken the high road enough times, eventually you're paving the road as you go and you're the only one on it, right? There's zero traffic. Again, these are metaphors for your energetic being. Okay, starry sky, dreams, hopes, and future. Stay focused on what it is that you want to build, manifest. Focus on I slept really good. I want more though. Let's get 3 more and then we'll finish. Thank you. Sorry for the delayed start. You guys are really patient if you made it through this. I know it's irritating. When I watch readings, I don't like it when readers do that too, and then I'm sitting here like, I do that. But you know what? It is what it is. Alright. Okay, so as we were saying, continue to focus on your hopes, your dreams, what you see for the future. If you need support with that, go check out some of the What's Your Calling readings, and make those for that purpose. There's a lot of them, so if the first one you watch doesn't resonate, check out another one. They all have important info. I try not to sound like a broken record. Mountain, independence, autonomy, and freedom. So as we continue to raise our vibration by staying in this attitude of gratitude, being content, right? Happiness is a fleeting emotion. Contentment is a way of being, right? So, you know, maybe things aren't exactly what you want, but maybe you're not where you were a couple years ago, a couple months ago, last week even, right? Acknowledging that growth, that process, those shifts is what's going to keep you in a space and a vibration that's welcoming in what it is you are seeking, right? What dreams and hopes and future. The ways in which you can step into your autonomy, your independence, and freedom. We live in a society that literally survives and necessitates our codependence on it. So, whatever you can do in your life to become more sustainable without other things, right? Really working on this independence, more of an interdependence than a codependence, and recognize codependency when it comes up for you in relationships, behaviors, patterns, or habits. And that's going to be hard for folks who are very much within capitalist system. Because if you start paying attention to codependence, you're going to realize literally every move you make is codependent on the system. When we were in Cottonwood a couple years ago, we were going to McDonald's, Dunkin', Starbucks, because I had to take I had to take Woodstock to the dog park twice a day, because we were at an RV park. And it was like Niles outside time too. So we went to the dog park. I always got the private pen area, or like we had one friend that we would meet up with, Woodstock's friend's mom. And she and I would chat, and Niall would do his thing, and the dogs would do their thing. But that was like our life. We would go get fast food and go to the dog park. And the irony of it was that I was balls deep in the Home Free Homestead project, the Homesteading Diaries. I was preparing to move off grid. And so I was very cognizant of my dependency upon the system around us. We don't really eat out anymore. We're not off grid, but we were for a minute, and thank God we're not. That shit was not for us at this moment. Niall was too young, and I was too alone out there. But anyway, all that to say is, we went from one extreme to the other, and now we're in this happy medium where, yes, we are still continuing to invest in this vision I have for our future, right? But I'm not dependent on, I'm dependent on the grocery store, but I'm not going to every fast food place. So my health is improving, and things like that. And understanding, I think when we think about capitalism or the codependence of consumerism, you can think of it like links of a chain. I'm thinking of this toxicity bound patterns card from Yin Yang that, it should be on the top. It was in the reading yesterday. When we think of consumerism and capitalism, we can think of it like links of a chain. And every time we kind of graduate from a level of codependency within the system, we're breaking a link of that chain, right? We're supporting our own liberation, and we're becoming this lighthouse and model. We do have catwalk here, but I'm not talking about that kind of modeling. But we become a model for others to follow as well, until we all decide to, break every chain that has us bound. Okay? That was a little bit of a tangent, but I'm a channel, so whatever comes through, we say. We have labs with innovation, experimentation, and research. And I think a lot of that talks to what I just shared too. I was in this heavy research of like solar. I was writing my floor plans, in the midst of, going to the fast food and going to the dog park and whatnot. And like I said, I got to this point where it's just like the leap of faith it took to move off grid was worth it. because I could not sustain what we were doing anymore. Financially, health, time, resources, my car. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was fucking tired of doing the same fucking thing every day, participating in this way. So I was like, you know what? We might not be fully ready, but now's the time. Like, let's fucking do it. My rent at the RV park was like extreme. My rent at the RV park was more than what I pay here. And we didn't have a fence, we didn't have a yard, we didn't have the ability to, you know. So I'm like, while this wasn't the main goal, this is where we ended up, and I'm grateful, right? We're still working on the land. So that's another thing too, is like, with that infinity, that flow of give and receive and trust, right? Trusting in your vision, trusting in the way things are working out. It might not be exactly what you hope for and are wishing for and fighting for, but not every, you have to go through certain processes to get there, right? So just don't give up, okay? Now we have core date, love, care, and tolerance. What are you willing to tolerate out of your comfort zone to get you to your goals, right? And when you reach your goals, you set new goals, right? And that's that, taking the higher road, setting new goals. It's the same process. And again, you can see that infinity within it, right? I'm going to do this, this person's trying to drag me down, but I'm not engaging because I have this goal to meet. I met this goal, let's do this. And it's that infinity energy. It's also very much giving like DNA sequence, right? Or the Fibonacci sequence. And we've been talking about that cyclical nature, but I'm really getting infinity. Just this complete reciprocity. Okay, traveling, adventure, exploration, and unknown. Don't be afraid to take any fucking chances. Again, if it's what you want, you have to take that leap. Mr. Hootie has his hand on party and like party very on the cards. Party, decompress, release, and let go. So letting go of what no longer serves you, right? Thank you, Hootie. Releasing these chains. And here we have sailing, boat, vision, planning, and long haul. If you're not familiar with Sailing with Phoenix, he just did this, and he taught, a lot of people about this life lesson. He was diagnosed with something, and he was working a job, and he didn't want to do it. He cashed in his 401k, bought a sailboat. He's been working on, working on the sailboat, making sure it would work. And he just sailed from Oregon to Hawaii. He made it last week. But it took him, 24 days? But that's the thing, and he was on, Anderson Cooper, CNN or something. But, his presence spoke to this soul calling of humanity, of, capitalism, isn't it, and I mean, he didn't really use that language, but he did talk about how shitty it was to have a job, and how he has health problems, and he's like, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have, so I'm not gonna sit around and just let my life happen. So again, taking your power back, right? And if we look at this fist and this fist, when we talk about all power to the people, this is what we're talking about. It's not just a selfish journey. He raised awareness for the medical condition. He met a woman in Hawaii when he got there who also had that medical condition. He is raising awareness about that. He's raising awareness about how to navigate less than exciting things, scary things, right? Taking a chance. What do you want to do? Why aren't you doing it? Just because the system hasn't told you how to get out of it doesn't mean there aren't people like us telling you how to do it. I do not participate in that system more than I have to. I am an anarchist, and I am building something entirely new and different, but not really new, just like back to the old ways. There's a thing over there. So, what can you do? What reciprocity are you getting? Are you receiving? If you're stuck in cycles of lack, victimhood, people fucking you over, take a look in the mirror, that Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror, and figure out why you're attracting those things, right? Do a little introspection work. Go check out those daily decolonizing playlists, the What's Your Calling playlist. I've got a playlist for basically anything to get you through this process, because mine was a lot of it awful. So again, don't envy people who have graduated where you are at this moment. Use that energy as a catalyst to get yourself out. Inspire yourself to recognize that what you are desiring is actually possible. The system's never gonna tell you that, but I am. I do every day. The fuck, bro? No, I'm kidding. Let me pull a couple affirmations to leave you high vibe. These are homemade with stickers. I'm really hoping my debit card comes today, because I don't want to have to go in the grocery store and I need some shit. So if y'all could help that, otherwise I'm gonna have to wait till Monday. Or I'm gonna have to go in. Okay, here we go. Life was meant for great adventure. Fall in love with as many things as possible. I think that's perfect. And on the backside, everything has beauty. Choose to see the good stuff. Never give up. Alright, have a good one, y'all.